Very good. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Men and Nutrition, One Simple Change. My name is Robin, certified nutrition specialist. And I want to say this. I've been in the nutrition industry for 14 years. And I would want to say that in that 14 years, I would want to say that things have gotten better, that people have gotten healthier. But what I've noticed is that in that 14 years, people are struggling more than ever. My approach when I first started as a nutritionist has changed drastically the more that I've seen folks struggle and then the more education that I get. And what I want to say to you all that are listening, hands down, is that food will either kill you or keep you alive. That the illnesses and diseases we face are due to what you put in your mouth or what you don't put in your mouth. And nutrition really is the foundation. And sometimes people don't want to believe that, but it is true. And fruits and vegetables, so super powerful. I mean, amongst other things, but so powerful. So without further ado, we have a panel of men that are going to share with you their story, how they found nutrition and what it has done for you, and what we call the one simple change. So I'm going to have them just come on, share their story. I will come back and talk a little bit thereafter. But all of us, all of me and them, we flood our bodies with raw fruits and vegetables every day. And we do it in a very particular way because it's effective. So with that being said, I'll cut that off right there. And I want to introduce you to Viv. And Viv and I, we met real quick, passing through a hallway. And he shared with me his story. And I said, I have to bring you on to this Zoom. He said, yes. So I'm just going to quiet down from there. And Viv, just share with your story is phenomenal. All the things you were going through before and after and all of that. So it's yours. Take it away.
Okay. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? So my name is Viv. I'm 51 years old. And I've been pretty healthy all my life. No real problems. Didn't eat. I drank a little bit too much maybe, and didn't eat the best food, pizza sometimes, beer sometimes, but overall I had no health problems at all. And in 2014, when I was 44, I went to Denver for a trip, and I was at a meeting. My left eye started watering uncontrollably. And I thought it was pink eye, but it didn't turn pink. And it happened for about a day or two, and no big deal. So I didn't think it was a big deal. And then it started to hurt uncontrollably and became light sensitive. And then the next day it turned a bright beet red, and I freaked out. And then my right eye started doing the same thing. And so I went to the doctor. They sent me to an ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist looks at it and says, oh, you have uveitis. I said, what's uveitis? Autoimmune condition, autoimmune disease. That's when your immune system attacks the body. What is the cure? There's no cure. What's the treatment? Steroid drops. So you put prednisone in your eyes. Basically, every time it flares up, one drop every hour that you're awake for the first 2 or 3 days, then one drop every 2 hours, every 4 hours, slowly wean yourself off till you get to once every 2 days, one drop every 2 days, and then you stop, and then you're good. And 4 or 5 months later, same thing happens again. It's incurable. And it's basically, it has to do with your gut microbiome and nutrients in your gut, and not being absorbed right. Your immune system goes haywire. And there's a lot of other autoimmune conditions that nutrition can help. So I was suffering through this for 4 years, and each time it would flare up, I would need to go to an ophthalmologist to get my eye pressure tested, because when you're putting the prednisone in your eye, it could explode your eye. So if you don't use the steroid drops, you go blind. If you use the steroid drops, there's a risk that it could explode, and you'll get early cataracts. I also had blood in my stools in 2015 December, and went and got it checked out. There was nothing wrong with it. So said, okay. 2 months later, I got it. It happened again. So I went to the doctor again. She said, okay, this time, the second time, we need to get it checked out. So she prescribed a sigmoidoscopy, which is like a colonoscopy, but you're awake for it. So I had a sigmoidoscopy. They found a polyp, did a biopsy, not cancerous, thank God for that. But then they recommend getting a colonoscopy. So went for my colonoscopy, found a second polyp, but it's traumatic to your colon. So I had to start eating psyllium every single day. So for the next 2 years, I had psyllium every single day. And it doesn't taste bad, but it's kind of gross, kind of slimy, kind of a nasty kind of jello. So, and then I've always had allergies all my life. And so fast forward to April of 2018, I met my now ex-girlfriend. I just met her. She's a personal trainer, nutritional coach. I've always been interested in, in health and products, what we can take. And she told me about something and she called it the Shred 10. I said, what is it? And so someone can explain it later. I'm not going to get into the details, but I started on the Shred 10 May 7th of 2018. I'll never forget that date. It was a Monday, I believe. And since then, it's been 4 years last month. I've not had a single episode of uveitis. I've been taking psyllium a single day because there's fiber in the products that I'm taking, and my allergies have been reduced about 98%. And so it's been like magic. I've told people this, and it's unbelievable. So I'm a walking poster child for that. And there's different kinds of autoimmune conditions that this can help. So that's my story. If you have any questions, let me know.
Awesome, and we will definitely come back because what you said was phenomenal. But I want to say this too about the Shred 10. The Shred 10 is encouraging you to remove certain things from your diet and flood your body with produce, and you take the produce, encapsulate it.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that was phenomenal. So yes, we'll definitely come back and come back to you. Thank you so much for that.
And if anyone wants to know what, I don't know if I can share my screen, but here, this is what uveitis looks like.
Oh.
It turns flaming red. So pretty scary stuff.
And just to reiterate this, that you were able to support, or for you, it sounds like it went away.
I haven't had a single, I haven't come back even once. It was clockwork. Every 4 or 5 months, would keep me coming back. So 3 or 4 times a year, and for 4 years, and then it's done. No more.
Because you flooded your body with nutrition.
Right.
And,
changed. Yeah. I cut certain things out. I also added certain things. You said it very correctly. It's what you put in and what you don't put in. So I took out the inflammatory stuff. I still eat some gluten, some dairy, but I cut out most of it. And I put in, plants and vegetables, fruit and vegetables, the phytonutrients.
Yeah. And you said it, you took some things out that our body does not like, and you put a whole bunch of stuff in that your body does like. And with the body, sometimes we don't know what our body likes, right? We know what we like and what we want. Right. And our body's like, well, then I'll change on the inside and I'll show you that I'm not functioning well. And then we add in what we need. So yes, thank you so much. Okay, so Charles, I don't know if Charles is here yet. Charles, are you here? Hi. So we will find Charles, hopefully. Mike, let's see you, Mike. Where are you? Mike.
I just took myself off of mute.
Okay. Now you two had quite a phenomenal story, and I'm always so grateful to hear these stories. And I meet y'all randomly, right? I'm like, you gotta come on here. These people won't believe this, right? So yeah, so share with us a little bit about you and your story as well.
Yeah, so my name is Mike Hose, and I'm 52 years old. So my story, I guess my journey started in 2012, kind of like the other guy, Viv, was sharing. I never had any health issues. My blood pressure was always perfect. And then something happened in 2012 to where my blood pressure hit 160/100. Kind of woke up in the morning. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, took myself to the fire station. I don't really like hospitals. They checked me out, thought I was maybe having a heart attack, but they got me calmed down, and, started to go see, different doctors. They were trying to figure out what was going on. I was having chronic migraine headaches, just really a lot of inflammation. One day I was driving home from work, kind of lost some sight in my right eye, almost got in an accident. So just decided I didn't want to really go on the medications. And so 2013 started kind of looking into some alternative things, just mainly because a lot of the testing I had done through the medical doctors weren't really pinpointing anything. So we did some food sensitivity testing in 2013, found out that I had some dairy sensitivities, And then I did a hair metal analysis testing, which showed I had some arsenic, some uranium, some mercury that was through my body. So I knew I needed to kind of clean up my diet. So tried a lot of different things, didn't really notice any changes. And I just happened to be at a camp out, and a buddy said, he saw that I was trying to go dairy free, and he recommended I talk to his cousin. She kind of shared a little bit about, the Now Shred 10 program. So that was 2015. She came and she spoke at one of our events, and it just all made sense because I was looking for something that was, really clean and focused on no artificial sweeteners or colorants or any kind of toxins. So I said yes, March 15th, 2015. I remember that date because it kind of was a day that really changed my life, my health. Fast forward a little bit, went through the program, like the Shred 10. I gave up the dairy, gave up the gluten. I got to say the Shred 10 community was so helpful because finding out like this was staples, gluten, dairy, things like that. That's kind of what I always ate. So the community was huge in helping me with options. So we went through and I gave, it was a 4-month commitment that I made, and I got retested through the naturopath, and I had my minerals tested, and I saw all my heavy metals gone. So not only did I start feeling better within 3 to 4 weeks, but then I got the testing just to make sure that, yes, I'm on the right path. So I share a lot of my before and after kind of test results to show people, because it was something that just validated and it inspired me, because I went from feeling so terrible with chronic pain, inflammation, and having all these health issues to not having any more health issues at all by just making these simple changes. So then I decided to go on and become a Dr. Series Lean Health Coach, learn more about nutrition, and then became a health coach. And now I just help other people through the Shred 10. And started I started a nonprofit. I think I might be mentioned that. We've helped 22 kids, and all we do is help them change their diet and clean it up, and they get off their prescription meds. So that's really quick, a little bit about, my journey.
Yes, I mean, thank you so much. And so those that are listening, I want to say 2 things. Whoever invited you here, you can ask them about the Shred 10, but I will say this about Shred 10, because people say Shred 10, is it 10 pounds? Is it this? So you're doing 10 things, right? You're removing certain things out of your diet, and you're, as I said before, and you're putting certain things in your diet. And when it's 10 things over 10 days, right? And it's wonderful because you can do anything for 10 days. And after 10 days, you can see some changes in your body. So when they say the Shred 10, that's a part of it. And it's a whole process, and we do have a community. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to
Hey,
look for
Robin,
Charles. Yes,
can I just add one thing very quickly about Shred 10?
absolutely. Yeah.
So it's also very sustainable. It started off as 10 days a month, 10 days every month. It's like clockwork. And so it's really simple I found the best part was no program is useful if you can't stick to it. So I stuck to it 10 days a month, every month for a long time. And because of the results I saw now, I'm almost permanently on a Shred 10 program, because once in a while I'll go have a drink or whatever else. For the most part, I stick to that program because it's worked so well for me. I said, why only stop at 10 days? I want to do it all the time, but it's very sustainable.
Very good. Perfect. Amazing. All right. I'm going to see if I can find Charles. Charles, did we find you? Okay, we have a missing participant, but hopefully we'll find him. Daniel. So Daniel, Charles got kicked off. He's back. Okay, well, we'll find him. So Daniel, let me see you. So I think, Daniel, are you there?
I'm here.
Now tell us how young you are, old you are, because everybody was saying they're 51, 52, and you are?
I'm 24.
Perfect. Because we want people to know that nutrition, right, no matter which generation you're in, it's important. So I want to ask you, if I may, just a couple of questions. What inspired you at a young age to even start paying attention to your nutrition? Because I'll say us old folks, it's later in life when things are happening to us, we're like, oh, I got to figure this out. So for you, what inspired you to start to pay attention to what you're eating at a young age?
Well, I had a lot of influences. I believe my nutritional background is definitely rooted in the fact that a lot of it was available in my household. So I got to give credit to my environment for sure. And the second is just getting extremely invested into all the sports that I was doing, all the activities I was doing and wanted to perform, and having to deal with the breakdown that comes from training multiple different things at once. And regardless of any age, if you're running, lifting, jumping while playing active sports, you need to fuel your body so that you recover. And that curiosity, as well as the injuries of my teammates and the people around me, it just sparked this curiosity and developed this urge, this motivation within me to take care of what I was eating so that I could also take care of my body when I was being active outside.
And so by doing that, what do you notice in yourself or even others, right? So you're using this nutrition as fuel. What's going on? How does that work for you?
Well, it's working out fantastic for one, because first from a younger age, I've learned to kind of track progress. One thing that I noticed is that when you can identify the changes one after the other, simple, one at a time, you can notice each difference that comes afterwards. So it may start with drinking more water.
Mhm.
Simple, but the changes are drastic, where you notice that you don't crash throughout the day. You notice that your mind isn't, it doesn't fog up. And these are things that happen when I personally experienced this while exerting myself hard, and then have to go to class, having to live my life, but my body isn't recovering as the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
So I'm trying to hit this at each level, and I noticed that by adding one extra vegetable, one extra meal, and trying to add it to like a repetition of routine, it helped me recover into the things that I was doing in my practices, in my lifts, running hills. And I was able to see all of this in real time.
Mhm.
And I believe the exercise was testing how well each nutrient was affecting my body.
That was powerful. Say that again. That was really powerful. So can you say that again?
Oh, which part? The bottom, the head?
No, just about the nutrients, how like you said, the nutrients in your body, and you could I guess you could feel that, or you noticed.
Oh, I could feel it because every day was a test. They
Wow.
had it, you could run in hills, you would lift, you would play basketball. I could track day by day the changes based on which nutrients I implemented.
Wow. Wow. And so to be clear, you too are flooding your body with all this produce and plant powders. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And you can tell in performance. I love that. Yeah. And I think you will inspire younger men, and you will inspire athletes or those who know they need to recover, or they've exerted themselves and they want to use nutrition to recover. Because I like with Mike and Viv, they were sharing how the nutrition kind of helped them heal. And you're saying you can, increase your performance by doing that. Thank you
And it
so
did
much.
help. It helped me heal as well.
Okay, tell us
Because,
more. Tell
well,
us more.
so in the past, there's certain things that are unfortunate. Some people have non-contact injuries. I had contact injuries where I actually broke my wrist my senior year playing basketball. And this is another added layer where, of course, it's your senior year, it's your last year of high school playing ball. So during that time, I really dialed in on it even more, so I could try to spark some extra growth into my bone healing while still training. And it was my right wrist, my shooting arm. So I knew I had to heal well if I was going to come back and play.
Okay.
So during that period, in the early moments after I broke it, I would research the extra things. I would try to dial in even more to get very specific onto what I was doing so I could heal faster. And I actually ended up coming back about a couple weeks, maybe almost a month or so earlier
Wow.
than predicted.
Uh-huh.
So all of
Yeah.
this was extra, extra proof, extra motivation to keep it going. And I haven't
Mhm.
stopped.
That's what people need to know. It happens all the time when we fuel our bodies with what it needs. And there's so many people that don't believe us that we have to almost force and tell them over and over again. So those of you all who are listening, get this nutrition in your body. Test, call our bluff. check and see if we're, what it does for you. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you so much. And then Charles, did we find Charles? I wish we found Charles.
He might be on the iPhone.
He might be on the iPhone, but I don't know how to hear him. Was
It's on mute.
it on mute?
Yeah, it's on mute. So you can ask him to unmute, I believe.
Yeah, I just asked him to unmute.
Okay. Well,
Hello?
did we find Charles?
Hello? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. You're here. Oh, you're
I made
here.
it. Yeah, I made it
Yeah.
all the way from Atlanta.
So Charles, share your story with us. You are you tell us your story. Yeah, you tell us your story.
Oh, okay. Well, before I started taking the plant products, I'm totally blind. I've had a stroke on my left side, and I had to learn how to do everything on my right. I'm on dialysis. And before I started taking the plant products, I was on 4 different heart medications, and I was on 2 different what do you call those? Water pills.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on 3 different kinds of insulin actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, after taking the plant products, starting in September, the only thing I'm doing now is the insulin. So I don't take any more heart medication, any more water pills, no more cholesterol medicine. So I don't have to do anything except for the insulin, continually checking my sugars.
Mm-hmm.
But like the previous caller was saying, once you fill your body with the right stuff, it will use what it has to make you heal.
Make you heal. Did it take a lot of convincing for you? Did somebody have to tell you over and over again before you finally said, yes, I'm gonna do this?
Well, that and the high amount of the cost it took to get my medicine. Actually, it comes out to be cheaper a month getting the plant products than it is paying for all of those medicines.
Wow.
So after trying everything else, I said, you know what? Might as well try it.
That makes
So
sense.
after I might as well trying it, I said, man, I wish I would have did it sooner.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. And you said something so powerful about saying that the taking of the plant powders was less than your medication and really effective, because again, the body gets what it needs. When it gets all that nutrition, it responds. So what I'm going to do is there any, before we cut off the recording, is there any, oh, someone had a question, Charles. How long have you been taking the plant powder?
Oh, I started in September.
September.
September to December 3. December to what? June now, 6, 9 months.
9 months, and a
Yeah.
significant change in 9 months. If there are other questions in the chat, you all can put them in there, and we'll fill them. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around to everybody and just see if there's any last minute comments before we actually kind of what we call it the after party. So Viv, is there any last minute comments that you want to say as we?
Yeah, so Daniel's story resonated with me as well, because I recently started, working out again, and I added in the sports shake to recover. So it's made a huge difference in my working out now. So I do personal training 3 days a week. I receive personal training on Zoom 3 days a week. and I gained 4 pounds of muscle in a month, which is like unheard of for me
Yes.
anyway.
Yes, y'all are gonna change a lot of lives and inspire a lot of men and women too. So
Yeah,
thank
and
you so
so
much.
in addition to healing myself, I'm also, going more. I'm not really a professional athlete or anything, but I want to look good and feel good, and so it's helping with that as well.
Very good. And Mike, any other last minute comments before we do the after party?
Yeah, I guess I will second that too, because when you don't feel good, you have a lot of joint pain, you don't have a lot of energy, you don't want to work out. But after making the changes in 2015 and doing that, protein shake and the other stuff, I started CrossFit in January of 2016. So I'm in my 6th year. And if you look at, I went from the 50th percentile in the world to just this last year in the 87. So I'm only 3% from qualifying into the regional. So there's definitely a lot with athletic performance when you fuel your body with the right nutrition.
Awesome, awesome. And then Daniel, any closing words before so you inspired all of us.
Yeah, I would just say that the capabilities of your body go beyond your current perspective. You just don't know how much you're able to do until you give it a shot. And food is one stepping stone to get you there, whether it's
Wow,
athletics or just living your life.
going
So I'd
beyond.
encourage everyone.
I had to write that down. Go beyond your current perspective. Very good. And then Charles, Charles, you're muted again. So if you want to say any last minute before we go, let me know. I have you muted, so you have to unmute. And I don't know, Lisa, if you could unmute him. Are you able to do it? Okay. I think he's still muted. Charles, are you there? Did you want to say anything before? You don't have to, but I think he may be still muted. Okay, well, we want to encourage you that are listening to contact the person that invited you here so that you can find out more about the Shred 10, getting these plant powders in your body, because it is the most phenomenal nutrition. And I challenge you to do that for yourself. And I also challenge you to share it with other people, each one teach one. So other people in your life that need to hear this. So get this information to them. And I'm going to turn off the recording.